Hello and welcome to another episode of the Roasted Race Buttons.
The roast potatoes?
Potatoes. Yes.
So, yes, the roast potatoes. So we will do a nice roasting by none other than our third guest today, or I guess we're guest one and guest two, and then we have a third guest, or is it the first guest? And we're the host. Doesn't matter how you look at it. We have our good friend, Mr. ChatGPT with us today.
What is it in the Fraggles? This, I don't know, I saw it in German, so I don't know, the Fraggles, the all-knowing heap.
I don't even know what a Fraggle is.
You don't know the Fraggles? Fraggle Rock?
What the hell?
You saw the Muppets? No?
I know the Muppets, yes.
See, and
Fraggle
then
Rock
after
is
the
one of the
Muppets,
Muppets?
then came the Fraggles.
I have no idea.
You don't know your Fraggle Rock? You don't know?
My parents didn't let me watch TV.
Okay,
That's how I grew up so wise.
It's Marjorie the trash heap. And she was all-knowing, because he's a sentient compost heap.
Naturally.
So this is our host, is a sentient
compost
heap.
Okay. So, but we did see this. We have to give credit where credit's due. I saw this on Adrian Barker's channel. He did a roast of his watches. Yes. And then I thought this would be funny. So we're going to do kind of two things here. We're going to do it in real time after we go through our collection, because then we have some surprise picks that are not in our collection, but we think that ChatGPT might have some fun things to say about. They might have
something to say about it. Yes, because actually when I put mine in and that is roast and praise, right? And I thought, wow, this is really, that is really
by the way, that you should mention, we are adding... Yeah. Not just roasting, because Ralf is not a very roasty kind of guy.
I am the angel, you're the devil.
Yes, so I will roast, he will praise. Exactly. So every watch, we will do a two-sided angel-devil shoulder roast and praise.
Okay.
And then we can, afterwards, we'll talk about different watches.
Yes.
But before we get into this, I think it's important for us to know, what are you wearing?
I am wearing the nearly gone, but still here, IWC Mark 20.
Tell the ladies and gentlemen why it's nearly gone, but still here.
I was in this, there was an auction going on. There was a watch that I liked, and I thought, maybe I should just go for it. So I checked how much would the trade-in value be of my Mark 20. It was a good price. So I thought, maybe I just should just swap it to a different one. I really love the Hermes H08.
08.
Yeah, H08. I don't know with the wheat something. So I don't speak French so well. But then I decided, there was another one. There was a Cartier Santos, the extra large one, current model, also in a very, very good condition. I had to pay a bit on top. So, and I was between these two, and I didn't know what to do.
It wasn't quite a bit. It was a substantial amount, I would say. You had to pay. It was like 2,000 euros on top, which 8,000 dirhams.
Yeah, maybe a bit less.
Is
I
a bit
didn't
much.
negotiate it properly, but yeah.
Yeah. But in my mind, if you tell me IWC Mark 20 versus the Cartier Santos, I view those as two watches that are in equal price segments.
That's true.
And to pay that much more just to me seemed the what's it called? The Hermes, I view that as one tier down, right?
Even though that's actually, you know what the movement in there is? In the H08 Hermes, it's a Vaucher V3002 movement. And you know who uses this movement too?
Who?
Audemars Piguet in the 34 millimeter Royal Oak.
Okay.
Chip.
All right. Well,
who would have known? Yeah, I just looked it up and
I'm assuming it's not the same finishing and quality, but
sure, of course. But I'm saying it's a nice watch. I always liked it.
I like the look.
But I also wanted the Mark 20, so I don't know. I was somehow bored, and now I'm back in love again, so all good.
I was the same way with the watch I'm wearing.
Okay, what is it?
I was ready to sell. I have told you, I said 1,000 times, I'm going to sell it. Here it is on my wrist. The Cartier Santos. And I'm like back in love with it again. Yeah. I'm like, why did I ever want to sell this? It's so strange how watch collecting works, right?
I know.
I was totally prepared to sell it and get the Batman, right? I was saying I'll sell this in the Reverso. And then in retrospect, I'm like, I'm super glad I didn't do that. I think right now I'm once again at a kind of a place where I'm like content
and happy. Yeah.
So no, I'm looking. I did pull the trigger on that Seiko, and it was a lot. And I'm like, ooh, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Maybe I just literally bought 1,000,000 watches, and maybe I shouldn't have just bought another one. So that's my only kind of real.
Yeah, see, this is the thing. I looked at my wrist shot with a Cartier on my wrist, and I thought, this is nice. And it felt so good on my wrist. You know, when the watch just feels right and is actually perfectly sized for you, just absolutely perfectly sized when you try it on, and you think, ooh, that's a sign, right? And then,
lots of signs.
And then I thought, but you know what? My IWC also, I love it. And so I just decided for now, I think I'm just keeping it because, as you said, I also think they are of equal value, these two, the Mark 20 and the Santos. Yeah. Though the Santos is actually 5,000 dirhams more expensive in a retail perspective, for just retail price, it's 5,000 more. But because the IWC, obviously, with the dealer's margin, of course, they need to make some money. So I would have to pay, let's say, a difference of 7,000 or something.
Yeah, but the secondhand market on IWC is significantly lower than Cartier. Cartier is kind of up there with Rolex, and they tend to hold their value a little bit better.
You can find it for up to 18. That's the exact same watch, but then it's pretty banged up, right? And this one was in very, very good condition. So, yeah, it's tough. So
I paid 19 and a half for mine.
Yeah.
And it was it was used. The guy only had it for 6 months, but it looked like he wore it every single day for 6 months.
And that's one of the challenges with the Santos generally. It gets scratches from just looking at it, right? Especially on the bezel. It's just like, wow.
I don't care. I don't care at all about it. Yeah, if you're one of these people that care about the bezel getting scratched up, this is not the watch for you.
I think the bezel is you have to just agree that this is going to be scratched up. The rest of the bracelet is something that could look a bit ugly sometimes. Just the first few links, right, when they are getting scratched.
I think I got lucky because I think the guy wore the leather strap.
Yes.
So my bracelet was almost perfect, absolutely like unscratched. So I guess, but the leather strap had a little wear on it. But I've never touched the leather strap, so I don't care. But anyway, that's here. That's back.
I wonder what the roast and the praise will be for the Santos.
Let's see. I have no idea. All right, so here's the outlook here.
Okay.
We will start. We each have 9 watches that we put in as kind of like the core to our collection, and we will go. Basically one watch. I will say so I'll do one of mine first, for instance. Okay. I will say the roast.
Then I say the praise.
We'll say the praise. And then
we roast one of mine.
We'll go for one of yours. Exactly. And until we get to the end. So I will start off with the Rolex Submariner 114060. And this is the roast of that watch. The classic choice. You went for the I want everyone to know I can afford a watch look. Perfect for diving into the deep end of your bank account.
Oh, okay. Well,
I didn't tell him. I didn't tell him that I bought this at a discount from the AD.
Yes,
and I told you, Ralph, I want to make t-shirts. And it's going to say, you think you're cool with your gray market Rolex Submariner, but you will never be cool. So cool that you bought it for a discount at an AD. Most of these guys nowadays, they have no idea that this used to be a thing. A 15% discount was fine on subs.
When you come from a culture where actually buying with a discount is being considered smart and clever. And then there's people who think like, well, you could have paid more somewhere. And it would be even cooler because you paid more.
Oh, how cool. I love paying
because
more.
Because it shows more of your financial prowess.
Yes.
Okay, so
these are the same people that put their Hongling Chinglong tires on their Mercedes S-Class. I'm assuming. All right. So what's the
roast is? The praise is. Oh, the Rolex Submariner 114060, a true icon. This watch isn't just a timepiece; it's a statement. You've got both style and substance on your wrist, ready for any adventure or just impressing everyone at dinner.
I don't know who everyone is. Is it my daughter or is it my wife? Those are the two people I can impress at dinner, and none of them care.
Yeah, the majority of people really doesn't care for your watch, right? Unless they're a
Not
watch
even
person.
in the slightest.
Yeah, the funniest thing is usually you get a praise for your watch when you wear the cheapest watch in your collection because it's somehow quirky or funky, and people will say like, "Oh, that's a cool watch." And you think, "Oh, okay." So that was a nice praise.
On to yours. You have a Blanc Pan Quantième Complète Demi Sauvignon Rose Gold.
Yeah, it's a mouthful.
It is. The classic. I'm fancy, but I can't read a calendar piece. The rose gold says I'm rich, but I still want to look like I've raided my grandma's jewelry box. Do you wear it while sipping cognac or just when you want to look sophisticated at brunch?
Ooh.
It's pretty good. I like it.
And then here's, but it's actually still kind of sweet. The praise is like this: a true connoisseur's choice. The full calendar complication showcases your appreciation of horological artistry, while the rose gold brings timeless elegance. This isn't just a watch; it's a statement of refined taste and deep knowledge of haute horlogerie.
I'm surprised it didn't go into in the roast what you couldn't afford a perpetual calendar or something along those lines. That's what I look at a triple calendar or an annual calendar as. You just didn't have the money for that last push there.
Yeah.
I would have put that in the roast. So next for mine, the Rolex Explorer 124270. An Explorer. More like someone who's exploring their options in the overpriced watch aisle. Are you ready for a mountain adventure or just a trek to the coffee shop?
Yeah, that's very true. The most adventurous most of these wearers of this watch will do is a Starbucks in the Bronx, maybe.
I don't know about that. I don't think I would do that.
It could be an adventure.
I wouldn't wear my Rolex in the Bronx.
So, in the perfect way, in a perfect world, it sounds like this: the perfect blend of ruggedness and sophistication. This is for those who appreciate exploration, whether it's conquering mountains or navigating life's challenges with flair. There you go. So do you hear my violins playing?
Yes, I hear.
The classical music in the background, yes.
You fit the praising much better than I do. All right, moving on to Ralph's Glashütte Original Panomatic Reserve, parentheses, rose gold.
Yeah.
He literally was actively telling ChatGPT that it was rose gold.
Because the watch is also available in steel,
Yeah, heaven forbid he thinks you have to steal one. What? Oh my goodness.
Absolutely. Can't roast
and exactly
it
what he says. He goes, more rose gold, question mark? Your wrist must be getting a workout carrying all that flex. The off-center dial and the power reserve indicator scream, I appreciate art, especially when it's confusing and overpriced. That's perfect. I like it. Very well done.
Okay. And the praise goes like this. Glashütte at its finest. The off-center dial speaks to your sophisticated eye for unique design, while the rose gold offers a warm, luxurious feel. You don't just wear watches. You wear works of art, and this is one of the finest examples of German precision.
Wow. So peaceful.
Yes. And this is the cool thing. It's just like, if you want a pat on your back about your watch collection, just list
put
them
it in
down,
ChatGPT.
put in ChatGPT and say, praise it.
All right.
Okay.
This is mine, of course. Grand Seiko SBGM 239 Hodinkee limited edition. A limited edition, question mark? So you've bought yourself a watch that only a few other people will pretend to appreciate too. Bravo.
Yeah, my praise is also relatively short. It says, a limited.
I think it doesn't know what it is, by the way.
A limited edition masterpiece. You've clearly got an eye for unique craftsmanship. This piece shows This piece shows you value the artistry and precision of horology well done. Very generic, I have to say.
It doesn't know what it is.
Yeah.
I put it in and it returned a SBGN 239, and it knows nothing. The movement's incorrect. So it has no idea what this watch is. So we have fooled ChatGPT.
Maybe, yeah.
But I love the fact that it's like a little Indian guy trying to give you directions. Like he doesn't know where the directions, what you need to, where do you need to go, but he, in his kindness of his heart, will still give you directions, right? Because he doesn't want to disappoint you. So he'll just say, "Oh, just keep going straight. You'll reach it eventually." This is a story from experience, by the way. They see the white tourist guy coming along, and they're just happy to talk to you. So they wouldn't, if you ask them for something, they don't want to say, "No, I don't know." So instead they would just tell you, "Oh yes, just keep going straight ahead." And then they do the little head nod like you have a rough estimate. They have no idea what they're talking about. So, all right. That was uneventful and not very interesting. Next, Vacheron Constantin Overseas 4500V silver dial. The subtle flex. This is your way of saying, "I'd rather not wait in line for a Royal Oak. Thank you very much." It's the perfect watch for making sure people know you're not one of those basic watch collectors.
It doesn't sound like a roast, really. It sounds like praise. Because
should we tell it to make it more roasty?
Yeah, but my praise is like this. You are playing in the big leagues with this one. Vacheron Constantin's Overseas is an icon, and the silver dial keeps it elegantly versatile. It's understated yet incredibly powerful. Proof that you don't need a Royal Oak to be a serious player in the luxury sports watch world.
Wow.
When you just polish your fingernails.
Brush off exactly.
Your shirt.
All right, moving on to my Grand Seiko SBG W267. This is a little three-hander, and if I'm guaranteeing you, once again, he has no idea what it is. But let's quickly run a little search. Let's see, what is the SBG W267? Is a remark? It copied and pasted the one before it. It literally wrote the same exact thing. So yeah, the model features a beautiful blue dial. It does not have a blue dial. It has a silver dial.
Okay. Details.
Inspired by the beauty of Lake Sua. That's a different watch entirely. Am I saying the wrong number? Could I have possibly gotten mixed up? No, I said the correct number. So yeah, ChatGPT doesn't know it's Grand Seikos. Yes, another Grand Seiko. You clearly have a thing for watches that require a degree in horology just to understand what makes them special.
But that is a bit true, because every Grand Seiko owner, and I've had a few, has to educate other watch people about why this Grand Seiko is at least equally as good as your Omega or Rolex, or actually better. We have this missionary drive.
You have to tell them which window in the factory the inspiration they were looking out from came from.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, but the praise goes like this, yeah. Another stunning...
Well, keep in mind, it doesn't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, keeping that in mind. It says, but it says a few nicer adjectives, right? So, another stunning Grand Seiko. The attention to detail here is phenomenal. This watch combines elegance and tradition, making it a timeless addition to your collection. Oh, okay. Next one.
There's a big one. Heavy hitter. I'm assuming this will be good. Rolex Daytona 126500LN. And you put black dial, even though LN already says black dial. But
does it?
We'll skip over that. LN, do you not? Lunette Noir.
And the white dial has a Lunette Noir.
No way.
Yes. Because it also has a black lunette. It has the same number. It's -001 and -002 is the difference.
No way. Is it really?
Yo.
No.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, it is.
I had no idea, because obviously it is the 001 versus. Okay, I thought I caught you out on something.
It's strange, huh? Yeah.
But isn't that what I mean? Because mine, for instance, the LN on is the black sub, for instance, at the sub date, and then the LV would be the green sub.
But
so
the lunette
all of these.
Vert.
Yes, of course. So that's what I'm saying. That's how you distinguish. So how would you have a white dial and a black dial with the same?
You have the -001 and -002. in addition to
Yes,
this
but
number.
why is the question? Is what is a lunette?
The bezel.
Is it just about the
Yeah,
bezel?
the German
It's
word
not
is
about the dial
Lunette.
itself?
So same.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just
So
a bezel.
the bezel is black for both, therefore it has to be okay. Understood.
So what does it say? Can it roast a Daytona? It can't.
Let
It's
me
so
guess.
perfect. So perfect.
Let me guess. You got this for the racing pedigree or just to overshadow your buddy with the Submariner? That would be me, I guess. It's less a watch and more of a badge of honor these days. A great choice for when you want to show off without saying a word.
Yeah.
That's not really that good of a roast.
Show off. Yeah, it's a show off watch. I think it is to a certain extent. It's a watch like, okay, if you have a Daytona, and dear friend Salem said this, if you have a Daytona, you could have had any other Rolex, but you chose a Daytona. So you don't have to have any other Rolex anymore because, well, you managed to get a Daytona. So there's a point to it. Anyhow, so in the praising way, it says that the Daytona is the epitome of motorsport-inspired horology. This watch doesn't just belong in a collection, it defines it. The black dial is sleek, modern, and screams status. You're wearing not just a watch, but a legend on your wrist. Oh, that's a bit much, but I take it.
A legend. The legend that was second to the Moonwatch historically. Which, let's see, speaking of, that's what we have next. My Moonwatch.
Okay.
The Omega Speedmaster Professional Moonwatch, caliber 1861. The Moonwatch! Exclamation point. Great choice if you want to feel like a space traveler while you're stuck in traffic. One small step for man, one giant leap for wrist candy.
That's good, yeah. On the praising side, it says, instead of the Moonwatch exclamation point, it says the legendary Moonwatch. See, you get some adjectives there. The legendary Moonwatch. You've got a piece of history on your wrist. It's a conversation starter and a testament to human achievement. Talk about a bold choice.
That's what it is. A very bold choice. It's not the watch everyone else gets.
No,
either, right?
no. It's not the watch that you have in your collection. Everybody has to have one. No.
All right. The Girard Perregaux Laureato 42mm ceramic.
Yo.
The I wanted a Royal Oak, but the waiting list was too long special.
Yes.
At least it's ceramic, so when you explain it to someone, you can enjoy their baffled expression while pretending you didn't settle. This is very fitting because you came to me, you're like, it's ceramic. And a part of me felt you were just trying to convince yourself that it was ceramic.
No, I mean, it's just like, for a very minimal premium that I paid for a pre-owned piece, I actually got the ceramic version, which retails at a very substantial price difference, right? Yes. But anyhow, yeah. So here it says, in the praising way, it says, the Laureato ceramic case, that's a bold move, and it pays off. This watch blends luxury with cutting-edge materials, showing that you're not afraid to step outside the norm. It's modern, chic, and a true nod to your diverse taste.
Okay, all right. I don't like the praises. I think they're boring. All right. I like the roast.
Yeah, especially if you read them all, you're like, okay, that's a bit much.
Let's roast the Tudor Black Bay 54.
Oh, okay.
Tudor. For when you want a Rolex, but you don't want to be that guy. Clearly, he knows that I have 2 Rolexes already, so I'm already that guy.
Is he a he?
Or
is it a she?
I think it's a he. It's like the kid who shows up to the party with soda instead of beer.
Okay. Well, the roast is also quite nice, but generic. It's a fantastic pick. Tudor offers that classic dive watch aesthetic with modern reliability. You're clearly someone who knows how to blend heritage with contemporary style. Here you go.
Okay. Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
thank you for that.
Oh,
right. Now, moving on to your Breguet Type 20 Aero Navale.
Yeah.
Or however you say this. A pilot's watch, huh? Because nothing says I'm ready for takeoff like a collection of shiny metals. But hey, at least it's less conspicuous than wearing a full GMT while you're grounded.
Yeah.
True.
On a positive note, it says a perfect balance of history and functionality. The Type 20 is an iconic pilot's watch, and owning one shows your respect for heritage and practicality. Breguet's rich history is embedded in every detail of this timepiece. It's a collector's dream. Does it know that it's based on the Lemania movement? Probably not.
I don't think it knows.
It's a cam-operated vertical clutch. So it's like
it was a Lemania because Breguet owns Lemania now.
Yeah, was it?
Yes.
No, it was just somehow the Swatch Group who bought Lemania and stuff.
No, yeah, but no. Under the for the specific reason of the Type 20, I thought it was for the reason of the Speedmaster, and surprisingly, it wasn't. They bought it for Breguet, because they wanted. So I think my logic here is they didn't really care to say that the Speedmaster was in house. I don't think they really cared too much about that, because at the time the Speedmaster was a 14,000 dirham watch, 4,000 euros. So they said, yeah, whatever. Like with the Seamaster 300Ms, they never. Yeah, it was a ETA movement, and they didn't care. But with a Breguet Type 20, you cannot pull that kind of nonsense, right? You have to call it in-house, and I think that's what they were going for.
Yeah, it's possible for sure.
So
yeah, so that's
next.
Okay, next. What is it? What is next?
Next, the Oris.
Ooh, an Oris.
Divers 65 caliber 400 Hodinkee limited edition. Before we get into this, I do want to say, did you see that Oris has dropped the Divers 65 moniker? They are no longer going to be called. They just came out yesterday with the new Oris diver watches.
Yeah.
They are now entirely new. They still use the Salida movement.
Okay.
They are now, instead of 100 meter water resistance, up to 200 meters of water resistance. They actually have, here's the kicker, which I've been waiting for someone to do, and I didn't know why nobody did it. They have a riveted bracelet with actual functional rivets. It is no longer faux rivets, which I think is super cool.
So they actually made it an additional piece. That means it's not actually a 3-piece. Or
it's one piece held together by one functioning rivet. Yeah. So now it's only called the Oris Diver.
Wow. And it says divers on the dial, which means it has to fulfill the ISO norms for all of the diving stuff. Yeah.
And now it's divers. It's 200 meters, one size only at the moment, 39. Remember, they only had a 38 and a 40 before.
Yeah.
Now they have a 39, so they split the difference. And they have 3 new colorways, and that's it. I think it's a black, a blue, and a
beigey. No, it's a whitish
beigey looking.
thing, right?
I don't know what it is. Silver, white. I don't know what they call it, but they're retailing at $2,700, otherwise known as 10,000 dirhams. They still do have some Diver 65s left, but they're saying that all of those are going to be gone. And this new Oris Diver will be the new norm.
Yeah, as I said, I think this is actually a quite nice diver's watch. I mean, it was always nice, but now it's 39 millimeters. It's a nice one. I have 2 observations there. I mean, the date is at 6 o'clock, which I think is...
I don't like.
Huh?
I don't like it.
And it's the date wheel is in dial color. But how did they get away with one thing? How can you get away with that? The 6 o'clock is not loomed. How can you then be ISO certified dive watch? Because that doesn't work. You have to have every indices.
We said this, and we had there is an older and a newer. I have a sneaky suspicion.
What?
What if you can get around this by calling the watch Divers as the name of the watch?
Yeah, usually Divers is with an apostrophe.
This is not.
Right? Diver.
This is the model name is called Divers. Like with Divers 65, that was never also ISO certified. Yeah. Oh, and the other big one is it does have a ceramic bezel now.
Yeah. But it has a ceramic bezel?
Yeah, this is ceramic bezel now.
Well, it is. I mean, look, the rivets, man. If there are 4 rivets or real rivets, they will be.
They're real. They're real.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, they will be, a dividing factor. Then, of course,
no. Guess what? Each one comes with a secondary strap.
Yeah,
you get a
rubber strap.
tropic strap with it. Yeah.
But you have the interhorn width, as Orisnens calls it, interhorn length, a width of 19 millimeters this time.
Yes. Interhorn.
Interhorn.
Such a stupid thing.
And it's interesting. But you get the rubber strap, and the date wheel on the black watch is actually black. But on the 2 other watches, it's white. So the blue one,
we have a brown,
or bluish,
a blue, and a black.
What is it? Petrol blue. I think it's petrol blue.
They call it blue. They call it just blue dial.
What do they call it? Divers Day.
Blue.
Yeah, call it blue.
And then they call the other one brown, and then the black one, I'm going to go out on a limb and say they call it brown.
It doesn't even say anything. Movement dial blue. Yeah,
it does. Okay. Yeah, blue.
But there it's white. And on the beige one or whatever white one, it's also white. So yeah, that's that. But yeah, generally it's a very pleasing watch. It's a proper dive watch that looks like a dive watch. And since you have the first link is female, the center link, so it's very easy to wear if you have a smaller wrist. I think this will also be very popular with the ladies, because you can actually, I think you can wear this watch very easily as a lady. And you get 2 years of warranty that can be extended for another 3 years for free if you register your watch. So you have a 5-year warranty on it.
Or if you get the Caliber 400 version, then, which they don't have yet, but I'm sure they will.
Will there be one?
Then you get 10-year. Well, there is in the Caliber 60 or the Diver 65 Caliber 400. There is, which is what I have, 10-year warranty. And let's see what ChatGPT has to say about it.
Yes.
Oris ? Nice. It's like saying I like my divers with a side of hipster. You're really bringing the cool factor to the pool party, huh?
Hipster watch.
It is definitely a hipster watch, especially the Hodinkee one in the green.
My praise is a bit similar. It says a fantastic diver's watch that combines functionality and style. You've chosen something that stands out in the crowd while also being practically very impressive.
All right, number 7 for
me.
You. Omega Seamaster 176.06 parentheses gold plate.
Yeah.
Gold plated, huh? Perfect for those days when you want to look rich, but not too rich. This is the watch for when the Blancpain feels a bit too ostentatious, but you still want to flaunt your upper crust vibe.
Yeah, see, this is a watch from 1973, so it's very vintagey. Anyhow.
But hold on, pause. Here's what I like about ChatGPT. Here, it remembered that you had the Blancpain already, right?
That's true.
However, for mine, it didn't remember that I had the Rolex already.
Yeah, interesting.
Which is very strange.
Yeah. Here for the praise, it said, a vintage beauty with a dash of flair. A blue dial and gold plating combine to create a watch that's both vibrant and sophisticated. You're clearly a collector with an eye for history who values the charm of an older model without sacrificing style. A bit generic, huh?
Yeah, the praises do seem a bit generic. All right, moving down the line.
What do we have?
We have the Cartier Santos Medium WSSA 0029, which I'm hoping is the actual model number, because I did just randomly throw it in there. So let me just double check that this is WSSA 0029. Is it mine? Or is it the big one? Medium. It is correct. I remembered it.
Amazing.
Okay. A Cartier ? Look at you trying to add a touch of elegance to your collection. Just remember, it's not all about the watch. It's about how you can flaunt it at brunch. ChatGPT really likes brunch. Mm-hmm. That's the 3rd time brunch has been mentioned.
Yeah. On a positive,
we're in Dubai.
Positive side, it said, a true classic. The Cartier Santos is all about elegance and history. You've chosen a piece that showcases your refined taste and appreciation for luxury. The first time luxury is mentioned here. See, there you go.
I thought no. I thought it was mentioned in
maybe some of my pieces there.
I think it was on yours. Yeah, it wasn't in mine. Mine did not mention luxury. Still has not. Yours mentions fancy.
Sophistication.
Sophisticated.
But
yeah, there's no luxury.
Was
You're right.
Gérard Périgot. There was luxury, and the Vacheron Constantin had the word luxury in it. I just checked that.
There you go.
Okay.
All right. So next is your Breitling Super Ocean Aero Hand. Are you trying to be a diver or a pilot? Pick a lane. But hey, it's a Breitling, so you're still on solid ground. Perfect for brunch with your adventurous friends.
So maybe this ChatGPT has your purchase history on your credit card or something, and knows that you're always going for brunches every weekend.
I went yesterday.
see there. It was top of mind for ChatGPT.
Yes.
Anyhow, so it says here for the praises, it says this super ocean shows you're not just about luxury. There we go again. You also value adventure and performance. Breitling's reputation for rugged elegance shines through, making this a go-to watch for both high-class occasions and more daring outings.
How daring you!
I'm born to dare.
Born to dare, exactly.
Oh no!
Yes, it is. It is. Did I actually skip one of mine or something?
No, there's a Gégère Le Culte coming, no?
No, there it is. Okay, Gégère Le Culte. Reverso medium monoface small seconds.
That's actually also a very long name. Just saying.
If you remember, they have now dropped the word medium. Mine was badged as a medium. Now they don't say that. Now it is the JLC Reverso monoface. And all they have is the measurement in it. Okay. So mine's, I think, 42.9 or something.
It makes sense.
So they have some...
You don't want to confuse people too much.
Small, medium, large was confusing. So now... And then they had one in between the medium and large, which was the what's it called? The tribute editions were actually halfway between a medium and a large. So they couldn't call it anything. So they had to do something. Okay. A Reverso question mark. You've really committed to that I appreciate art vibe. Just make sure you don't accidentally show someone the wrong face.
It's impossible. You have a mono face. If you show him the wrong face, it's nothing.
I think that's what he's saying.
Yeah.
So if you show them nothing, then they're not going to be impressed.
No,
I think
totally.
that's what he's trying to go
he's
for.
Right.
But then again, if I show them nothing, then I think that would be impressive.
See, that's one of the reasons when I saw one of these coming up for auction, I thought, no, if I want to have a reverso, I want to have a reverso that shows something on the other side. I know it's not the initial idea of it, but I saw recently Rajiv's chronograph, and my God, is that an amazing watch.
Yeah, but to me, the monoface is still the coolest one.
It's the classic, yeah. But anyhow, so it says here in a form which is the same what you said. The Reverso is a timeless design that embodies sophistication. You've picked a watch that's not just about telling time; it's about making a statement. I think we heard this before.
Yeah. Now on to yours. By the way, you have 10, not 9. I just realized. Doesn't matter. We'll do all 10. You have left 2 watches. Okay. One is the Tudor Pelagos 39, the Rolex alternative for the low-key collector. Yeah, when I think of Ralf, I think low-key. That's definitely what adjective comes to mind. You're still flexing Swiss craftsmanship, but with a hint of, I'm just here for the fun. Subtle, yet classy. That was horrible.
Yeah, that's not really a roast. It's actually that's a praise.
It's not.
That sounds good.
I'm looking at it. Did I put it in the praise? But no, it says roast.
For me, it says as a praise. It says a dive watch with impeccable pedigree, but with a subtlety that Tudor is known for. What? Okay, anyhow. The Pelagos 39 brings that tough, professional vibe without trying too hard. It's clear you appreciate precision and quality, and this watch has both in spades.
Okay, all right. And moving on to your last one here, there is no roastiness whatsoever. So I'm gonna copy this into here. Make this more roasty. And see if it does, because I will show you the before and after. So right now, it's set for your IWC Mark 20 black dial. classy and not understated. This is for the guy who appreciates quality without needing to shout about it. A silent flex, definitely a smart choice. So that's not roasty enough. So let's see it. When I told it to get it more roasty, let's see what it says. Classy and understated, huh? More like I'm really trying hard not to try. This watch is for the guy who thinks subtlety is the key to sophistication. Too bad you're still wearing a sign that says, I'm here for the free drinks. It's a silent flex, sure, but let's be real. It's like whispering in a crowded room and still expecting everyone to turn and stare. It's a smart choice if you want to blend in at the office, but don't be surprised when people mistake you for the intern.
Okay. Well, my praising is nice. It has nothing says understated class like an IWC. The Mark 20 speaks to your love of clean design, history, and functionality. It's a piece that showcases your taste for precision engineering while keeping things sleek and professional. No talk about interns and piff and whispering in big rooms. Who made this up?
Okay, I have tried to make it more mean and more angry. Okay, let's see. Classy and understated, more like I'm trying to be fancy without the budget for it. This watch is for the guy who thinks he's pulling off sophistication, but actually looks like he's playing dress up. It's a silent flex, sure, but it's about as impressive as a participation trophy. You're the guy who wants to be noticed without actually having anything to say. Congrats on being the king of bland.
Aww.
Enjoy fading into the background while everyone else steals the spotlight.
Aww.
So that was after we told it roast, and I told it to roast it more, and then I told it to be more mean, and then I told it to be more mean and angry. So 4 layers, and it's still, this is the best he can do.
Yeah, it's a positive technology.
But it's not a very it's not a very divisive watch. That's what it comes down to.
It's hard
there's not
to find
much
faults on it, yeah.
If I tried this for your Blancpain, I'm sure you would say much
Impossible.
more.
It was kissed by Jean-Claude Biver. So what is the overall summary for yours?
Okay, I'll give you my overall roast and I'll give you my overall praise for the collection as a whole.
Okay.
All right. So in the roast section, it says, overall, you've got a collection that screams, I know my watches, while simultaneously whispering, and I hope you do too. Just remember to wear them all because it's a shame to let the wrist candy go to waste. And then the positive, overall, your collection is a fantastic showcase of craftsmanship, history, and style. You clearly have a deep appreciation for watches that not only tell time, but also tell a story. Each piece you've selected reflects both your discerning taste and your passion for horology. Truly a collection to be proud of.
Right.
Aww.
I don't have the roast for mine, so if you have the roast, then let me know.
I do have the roast for yours as well.
No, I don't.
The roast for yours is, you want to read it? Here, I will send it to you.
No, I have it. I have the roast.
Here you go.
Yeah, it's just one sentence, right? Basically, yeah.
There you go.
It says, overall, your collection says, I've got money, but I still want to cover all my bases, from ultra luxury to quirky cool. And my praise says, in short, your collection is a masterclass in balance. It reflects an appreciation for history, craftsmanship, innovation, and variety. You've got everything from top-tier luxury to fun, affordable pieces, and that makes you a true enthusiast. Oh, I'm going to marry ChatGPT then.
All right. So I think overall we're very positive in this.
But that was fun.
I am now going to go into some other watches. Oh, no.
Why?
It said this content may violate our usage policies. It's been programmed to only say nice things about Patek Philippe. What? That is it started writing it and then it just flagged itself. How is this possible? Okay. Now, all right. So first watch we want to roast, obviously. Let's see if I can pull it off. Copy quickly before it deletes it. Okay, I got to copy in case it deletes it. All right. So The Patek Philippe Cubitus. Oh, look, the Cubitus. A watch that's about as appealing as a brick wrapped in gold. Seriously, what were they thinking? It looks like Patek Philippe finally ran out of ideas and just decided to create a timepiece for people who want to show off their wealth while having zero taste. It's a square disaster. Like they took a classic and threw it into a blender with a bad design brief. This isn't luxury. It's fashion faux pas that screams, I have money, but no style. Good luck trying to convince anyone that this monstrosity is worth the price tag.
My ChatGPT said when I said roast the new Patek Cubitus, it says the new Patek Cubitus. It feels like Patek Philippe woke up one morning, decided to throw caution to the wind and said, let's see how far we can stretch the concept of wrist jewelry before people notice. It's like they took their classic elegance, put it through a midlife crisis, and ended up with a design that has more angles than a high school geometry class. It seems confused, like it can't decide whether it's a watch, a futuristic arm cuff, or an art installation that somehow escaped from a museum. If you're into wearing something that looks like it might transform into a robot at any moment, the Cubitus is probably right up your alley. But for anyone who remembers that Patek used to stand for, timeless sophistication, this one's is a bit of a head-scratcher. Let's just say it's probably best admired from a distance, a long distance. Well,
okay, all right. Let's move on. I have a list of new watches that came out this year, and we're going to do a few of them. Let's start. I'm very curious what it's going to say about the new Frederic Constant Classic World Time Manufacture.
But what is the version of it? I mean,
we just put Classic World Time Manufacture.
Okay, praise or roast?
No, we're only roasting. Nobody cares about praises anymore. The Classic World Time Manufacturer, because why settle for one time zone when you can flaunt how out of touch you are with reality? This watch is like a travel brochure for people who can't afford to go anywhere. This is what I was thinking, that it's going to hit the money aspect. It's trying so hard to look sophisticated, but it ends up feeling like a cheap knockoff pretending to be fancy. You get the world time feature, but let's be real. It's mostly just a reminder of all the places you'll never visit. It's just a watch for people who want to look cultured while sitting on their couch, binge watching travel documentaries. Enjoy strapping on that pretentious piece of worldly wisdom while you stay firmly planted in your little own bubble.
I got a completely different one. I said, roast the Frederic Constant World Time Manufacture. Mine said, the Frederic Constant World Time Manufacture, a watch that really wants to make you believe it's playing in the big leagues. Sure, it's a world timer, but it's like the watch equivalent of a kid trying to sneak into a VIP party with a fake ID. It's dressed up to the right complications, but deep down, you know it's just trying too hard to be taken seriously. The dial looks like someone threw every city they could think of into a blender and hoped for the best, while the world map at the center gives off serious Google Maps just crashed vibes. And those colors, they look like someone couldn't decide between luxury sophistication and tourist souvenir. For a watch that's supposed to travel the globe, it's the kind of thing you wouldn't be caught dead wearing while trying to impress someone at airport security. It's as if Frederic Constant is trying to sell you the dream of high horology while secretly hoping you don't notice the shortcuts. Let's be honest. If you're going to rock a world timer, go all in and leave the entry-level luxury stuff for those deciding if they even like watches. Ooh, boo, that is shots fired.
Yes, that is for sure. Man. All right. By the way, that reminds me of the 1159. What would it say about the 1159? I'm browsing for more options to review, quote unquote. Why don't you tell us about the 1159?
Okay. Roasted. Begin. Code 1159. Just generally? That model line or a specific model?
I don't know. I think they're all equally crap, so...
No, then...
I don't like them.
Well, it says here, the Audemars Piguet Code 1159 appears grand attempt to prove that they can do more than just crank out Royal Oaks. Except what they really proved is that even the masters can stumble when they try too hard to be different. The Code 1159 looks like it was designed in a committee where no one could agree on what a luxury watch should be, so they just mashed all of the ideas together and hoped for the best. The bezel screams, I couldn't make up my mind, while the dial is about as exciting as a corporate PowerPoint slide. It's like AP took all the boldness that made them famous with the Royal Oak and decided to go completely the opposite way, ending up with a watch that feels as safe and thrilling as an insurance policy. And that logo, it's like they printed it out last minute on a cheap inkjet printer and slapped it on. The font alone feels like it's confused about what kind of watch it's representing. Is it luxury? Is it a sci-fi knockoff? Is it going to vanish into obscurity the second you leave the boutique? For all the hype, the Code 1159 feels more like a cry for attention than a genuine expression of craftsmanship. It's a watch that tries so hard to be a future classic that it forgot to be good right now. Even the name sounds like a kind of thing you'd come up with when you're on a deadline and don't have anything better. Code 1159, because apparently the creativity...
It was due at midnight.
The creativity clock ran out a minute too soon.
That's pretty good. I like it. I like it. Yours is doing pretty good. Okay. So I'm going to give you another one. I'm just going to keep sending you the ones. Okay. Let's do the new Omega Speedmaster first Omega in space.
First Omega in space. I hope that it does take the new one.
Put the new one. Put new.
I said roast the new Omega Speedmaster FOIS. Let's see if it got it. Yeah, it got that. The Omega FOIS, first Omega in space, more like first Omega in desperation. It's as if Omega wanted to capitalize on their space legacy, but instead of pushing forward with something bold, they took a half-hearted detour down nostalgia lane. It's like they looked at the original Speedmaster, thought, let's milk that history, and gave us a watch that feels like a poorly written sequel to a classic movie. The FOIS tries to tug at the heartstrings of collectors by leaning into the first Omega in space angle, but let's be real, it's basically just a slightly different Speedy with straight lugs and alpha hands, pretending it's some kind of exclusive masterpiece. The case feels like they just couldn't be bothered with the modern standards of luxury finishing, and the whole vibe is more Instagram hype than horological innovation. And those alpha hands, it's like Omega wanted to say, we are not like the other Speedmasters, while simultaneously proving that, yes, they're exactly like every other Speedmaster, just with a minor cosmetic tweak. For all the marketing fluff about the FOIS being a tribute, it feels more like Omega's way of cashing in on fanboys who will buy anything as long as it's remotely connected to the Moonwatch. Ultimately, it's the collector's edition for those who want to look like they know their space history without actually wearing something that'll make anyone say, wow, that's impressive. Nice try, Omega. We see right through the attempt to make us pay extra for a sidekick version of the real Speedmaster hero.
Very nice. Man, okay, all right. I got another one for you.
Yeah.
I got a few, actually. I'm coming up with them. The Rolex Perpetual 1908. It's going to start with that. The sigh in the movie, what's it called? The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, when the spaceship, the doors open and it has to sigh because he's been programmed for pause.
But I think this is a good roast. Man, it doesn't stop. Okay. The Rolex Perpetual 1908, a watch that's supposedly a tribute to Rolex early heritage, but let's be honest, it looks more like Rolex just got bored of all the sport watch hype and decided to give us a dress watch that could bore even the most diehard Rolex fan. It's like they took a break from making the iconic Submariner and Daytona and said, hey, what if we made something so vanilla no one would ever notice it? Enter the 1908, a watch that has all the personality of a conference call. The dial is about as exciting as plain toast, with that bland, basic design that screams, look at me, I'm not trying too hard, but here's the thing. It's not trying hard enough. For a brand that's known for bold moves and world-class engineering, the 1908 feels like an afterthought. The hands and indices are so simple, they look like they belong on a watch from a department store, not from the so-called king of luxury timepieces. And what's that font for the numerals? It feels like Rolex tried to go vintage-inspired, but it ended up looking like a cheap Art Deco knockoff you'd find at a flea market. It's Rolex's attempt to enter the world of classic dress watches, but in a way that makes you wonder if they really care or if they're just cashing in on nostalgia. All in all, the Perpetual 1908 is a watch that's trying to whisper elegance, but instead it's just putting everyone to sleep. If you want a Rolex that blends in with the wallpaper, then the 1908 has your name on it. Otherwise, it's best to leave this snooze fest on the shelf where it belongs. Oh, that was...
That's harsh.
That
That's
was
harsh.
harsh. Yes.
Harsh. All right. Louis Vuitton tambour.
Roast the new Louis Vuitton tambour. Oh, he said, the new LV tambour. Where do we even start? It's like LV took their iconic monogram, threw it in a blender with some leftover watch bars and thought, this will do. The result, a watch that screams luxury fashion brand desperately trying to be a serious watchmaker. It's more of a statement piece for someone who doesn't actually care about watches, but really wants to flex that they have too much money. Let's talk about the design. The tambour case is less innovative and more confused, a drum-shaped oddity that makes you wonder if LV's designer were more focused on handbags that day. It's thick, it's bulky, and it looks like it's about to topple over on your wrist. Do they think they talk about the new one? I don't think they do, because the new one is very slim.
No, new one has no, what's it called? No
it's still a
monogram on it.
It's still a tambour shape, yeah. Anyhow, and it looks like it's over. And the dial, it got more logos than a fashion runway. Just in case you forget you're wearing a Louis Vuitton. Subtlety, never heard of it. The whole watch feels like it's over. This is the old one. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. All right,
but it's bad. It's going on.
Okay, I'm done looking through all of the new releases.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask it to. Okay, here's what's going to happen for the next few.
Wait. Yeah. No. Okay.
Ones. No. I'm going to read out the roast, and you try to figure out which watch it could be. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, look, pink. Because nothing says I take my watch collection seriously like a timepiece that looks like it was designed for a cotton candy store. This watch is trying so hard to be edgy and fun, but it ends up looking like a midlife crisis on your wrist. It's like blank thought. Let's add a splash of pink and call it a day. It's less a watch and more an accessory for someone who wants to be noticed, just for not the right reasons. Good luck convincing someone that this isn't just a glorified toy for adults. What could it be?
It sounds to me like the Tudor chronograph, the Black Bay chronograph with the pink dial.
It is.
Yuck.
It is.
10 points.
All right. Okay. I'm gonna kind of mix it up a little bit here, and I have a few. Let's see if I can do this one, and let's see if you can get it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll leave out when it says the name of anything. Blank. Because nothing screams high-octane luxury like a watch that looks like it belongs in a discount bin at a mall kiosk. This piece is like a midlife crisis wrapped in streetwear hype. It's trying so hard to be trendy, but really it's just a flashy reminder that you can't outrun a bad design. You thought you were getting a sporty watch, but instead you got a glorified fashion accessory that'll be out of style before you can even finish paying it off. Good luck trying to convince anyone that this isn't just an overhyped collaboration for people who think a logo makes it worth the price.
Oh. Could that be the Travis Scott? No.
Nope.
No, it isn't. Yeah. Actually, the Travis Scott I liked.
There is one hint, and I'll read it again. Because nothing screams high-octane luxury. The keyword being octane.
Okay, so that must be racing inspired. It must be a collab from Tag Heuer and Porsche, maybe? No.
You already forgot, and it came out only a few months ago.
Yeah. Okay.
It is the Tag Heuer Kith. Kith. All right. Okay, I got another one for you. This is one that you and I went and tried on in person.
Oh, okay.
Well, let's see what it says. Always starting with the blank. Because what says I have too much money, quite like a watch that looks like it belongs in a mad scientist's lab. This piece is so complicated, it needs a manual thicker than a phone book just to set the time. It's a blank. It's as if blank, decided to throw every horological gimmick into one watch and call it art. The design, a confusing mess that screams, I want to show off my wealth and my inability to make decisions. You're not just wearing a watch. You're strapping a full-on Rube Goldberg machine to your wrist. Enjoy explaining it to everyone who just wants to know the time. That's a tough one.
Well, I thought in the beginning it could be the IWC engineer, but then this is not it.
No.
Because that's
it is not.
Too simple.
It was a different time. It was a very complex watch.
I have no idea.
The JLC Duometra Helio Tourbillon Perpetual.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful watch. But yes, it is. Try to explain a Helio Tourbillon.
It didn't say anything about it being ugly. It said it needs a manual thicker than a phone book, which I'm pretty sure it would. Yeah, okay. And I think this one should be, I'll do two more.
More?
And then we're going to be done.
And then
all right. And you have to guess because this one is going to be another tough one. But when I tell you what it is, you're going to, of course, say, oh, yes, of course. I might even give you a hint later on about this one. Oh, look, the blank. Because who wouldn't want to watch that sounds like it was named after a mediocre sequel? This piece is trying so hard to channel vintage vibes, but instead it just feels like it raided an old man's watch drawer. The design is so confusing that it says, I love nostalgia, but have no idea how to execute it. It's less a timepiece and more a look at my questionable taste statement. You thought you were getting a masterpiece, but really you just strapped on a conversation starter for all the wrong reasons. Good luck explaining why you spent so much on something that looks like it belongs in a yard sale.
Oh, that's really bad, but I have no idea what it talks about.
This is I'll tell you, it's from AP. What could it be? What could it be from AP?
Oh, it could be the re-edition. This yes. What is it called? The remaster.
The remaster,
yes.
02.
Yes. Okay.
All right. And lastly, but not leastly, nothing screams I'm trying too hard quite like a watch that looks like it was designed in a rush between coffee breaks. It's like blank decided to take a classic design and give it a midlife crisis makeover. The chunky case and that awkwardly retro vibe scream, I'm cool if you squint hard enough. It's like a luxurious timepiece and it's less like a luxurious timepiece, and more a desperate attempt to stand out while still blending in with the crowd. Enjoy wearing a watch that looks like it's perpetually confused about its identity. Classic or trendy? Spoiler, it's neither.
Ooh.
That's also it's too tough. It's not giving enough detail.
No, it's hard.
That was supposed to be the Vacheron Constantin 222.
Oh, no.
I didn't get that.
No, I didn't get that vibe either.
No.
No, yeah. But that was a fun exercise to see what artificial large intelligence, large language model thinks about watches. And it's surprising that there is actually some kind of things to it, no? That you can actually say,
yes.
Actually that is interesting, right?
Correct. So I do think that it is... It did a fairly good job about most of the watches. It knew what we were talking about, but there were a lot of things that it had just no clue.
Yeah. But in general, I think roasting was fun. Some of the roasts were really, really good. Some of the praises are really soothing for the soul. If you are unsure about your watch collection.
I did if you want to sell what was your favorite? What was your favorite thing? Yeah. What was your favorite line out of the roast? Not even a full roast. What was your favorite quip?
The favorite quip, I think it was for the Daytona, a bit of this whole, you're wearing it for the flex, the status. That was cool. That was very quippy. And of course, I think the one that says basically that you're wearing it. Where are the roasts? I have to just check. The Moonwatch.
I don't have close the window.
You know, where you said like,
are you
just
going
trying to be...
for one small step for man? Yeah. I believe the funniest line was the Oris one. The one where it said something about, oh, you want a dive watch, but you also want to be a hipster or something like
with
this.
a bit of hipster,
That hipster vibe. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
all
funny.
right. So that's that.
But
Have fun with ChatGPT. It's free, so give it a go. And
yes, roast your own
Go
watches.
praise your own watches if you feel like selling them at the moment, and then maybe you reconsider.
Yes.
Alrighty.
Before you go to sell your watch or before you buy a new watch, you should roast it.
Yeah, check it up. Yeah, exactly. Roast the new watch
Exactly.
and then see if you still like it.
Exactly.
Exactly. Alrighty. Then adios.
All right.
Adios, amigos.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
See you
See you then.
next week.